Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Welcome to Our Weird World, where each week we gather around the bonfire to explore the planet's most haunting legends and enduring mysteries. Tonight, beneath the flicker of our virtual campfire, we journey into lands where the air is thick with heat, the forests hum with life, and the nights seem to breathe. From the misty hills of Puerto Rico to the dusty plains of the American Southwest, people whisper of a creature that stalks the shadows, a predator of myth and nightmare, feared for generations. Some dismiss it as folklore, a tale to scare children, but others speak of livestock drained of blood, of eyes glowing in the dark, and of something that moves between the worlds of man and monster. So take a breath, let the weight of the day fall away. There's nowhere you need to be, just here, with us in the safety of the firelight. Because tonight, dear traveler, we tell the story of something ancient, something hungry. This is the tale of the Chupacabra. Long ago, nestled in the emerald hills of Puerto Rico, people lived close to the land. They knew the songs of the birds and the rhythm of the seasons. The nights were alive with a symphony of nature, frogs chirping from the rivers, insects buzzing in a steady hum, and the occasional distant howl that sent a chill down your spine. But then, something changed. The first sign was almost easy to overlook. One morning, a farmer found his goat lying lifeless in the dewy grass. Its eyes were wide open, staring at nothing. The body was untouched, save for 2 neat puncture marks in its neck. There was no blood, no sign of struggle, just an unsettling stillness, as if something had drained not just its life, but the very essence from it. At first they thought it must have been a snake, or perhaps a cruel trick played by nature itself. But then it happened again and again. Chickens, pigs, and even guard dogs all found in the same condition. No blood, no wounds apart from those 2 small holes, and always the eerie silence. There were no broken fences, no disturbed soil, and no prints in the earth. Whatever was responsible moved without sound, without warning, and without mercy. Fear began to grow in the hearts of the villagers. They were no strangers to danger. They had faced storms that tore through their homes, wild animals that prowled the forest, and sickness that came without explanation. But this was different. This was not nature's hand. This felt older, darker. They gave it a name, El Chupacabra, the goat sucker. At first, no one had seen it, only the evidence it left behind. But fear has a way of sharpening the senses, and soon the sightings began. One man claimed he saw it standing in the moonlight, tall and gaunt, with a leathery gray skin stretched tight over its bones. The eyes glowed red like hot coals, and when it moved, it did so with an eerie grace, silent as smoke and vanishing before he could scream. A woman told of waking to a noise on a roof. When she peered through her window, she saw a creature crouched there, spines bristling down its back like an enormous lizard, or perhaps something older still. She swore it turned to look at her, eyes locking with hers before it leapt into the darkness and was gone. Some said it had wings, bat-like appendages that allowed it to soar silently from one farm to the next, never touching the ground. Others believed it was small, no larger than a child, with claws like knives and a mouth filled with too many teeth. The descriptions varied wildly, but one detail remained consistent. It was always watching. Always. And the Chupacabra didn't just take livestock, it left behind something else. Homes, once warm and familiar, began to feel strange and colder. People spoke of hearing faint scratching at their doors, or waking to find strange marks on the walls. Shadows would stretch long and unnatural, and a sense of unease would settle in the pit of your stomach, like the feeling of being followed in the dark. Some whispered that it was not of this world, that it had come through a rift drawn by human greed or summoned by accident through some forgotten ritual. Others believed it was a punishment, a spirit sent to remind mankind of its place in the natural order. But the elders, the ones with faces lined by time, whose voices were low and steady, believed something else. They said that the Chupacabra had always been here, long before cities, before roads, before men claimed dominion over the wild. When the forests were boundless and the earth untouched, creatures like the Chupacabra roamed freely. They slipped between worlds, ours the one just beyond the veil, where things we cannot name still wait in the dark. Even now, as the veil grows thin in forgotten places, abandoned farms, lonely stretches of road, and deep woods, the Chupacabra still finds its way through, not out of malice, but out of hunger, and perhaps loneliness. You might wonder, Why tell this tale? Because stories are how we remember, how we prepare. They wrap around us like blankets, keeping the cold and the unknown at bay. They remind us that the world is full of wonder and mystery, and yes, sometimes fear. But fear is not the enemy. Fear is a guide. It tells us to lock our doors, to watch the darkness, to keep close to the fire. It ties us to the old stories, the ones that linger long after the flames die down. So tonight, as you drift off into dreams, remember this. Not all shadows mean harm. Some are just warnings, echoes from a time when the world was stranger, and savage beasts still walked beneath the stars. As we leave you here tonight, remember, the darkness holds many secrets, and the legend of the Chupacabra is just one of the countless mysteries lurking in our weird world. If you've enjoyed this tale, please share, like, and subscribe to our channel so we can continue bringing you stories from the edge of the unknown. Your support keeps the campfire burning and these legends alive. Until next time, stay curious, and if you hear soft scratching at your window, it's probably just the wind. Probably.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.